So, we've got a special guest on the show today. Members of the JMR Discord server probably know him well. He's the analyst and project coordinator for the JMRC. It's Fouc. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, hello. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So, this season must have felt really different to put together with the spotlight coming from the big-name sponsorship from HBO. Did it feel any different to the team making it?
The answer may surprise you. I think the answer is no.
Oh.
I think even despite the wide exposure, what makes a Marble League really successful, and I think this was a really successful season, is that we're all coordinated on the team and we follow a good workflow, which involves different people working on different things, ensuring the events are fun and entertaining. And I'm really proud of the collaborative process. I don't think the spotlight made that any different or worse. I think already the entire JMR team with contributions from the JMRC, these contributions help make sure the events are fair and exciting. And even if there was a bit more pressure from the fan base on making sure everything is right, I think we got it pretty right in the end. So I'm proud of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it really turned out to be a great viewer experience from our end, at least. So when did the team find out about the Last Week Tonight sponsorship? Did they reach out well in advance for sponsoring the event?
So I don't know the details very well, but, given that there was this worldwide exposure to marble racing in March, I think one thing led to another. And I think it was a situation where the people at the Last Week Tonight show just thought, wow, they wanted to think about how, think about professional sports during this current time with the presence of coronavirus. And they reached out to this channel in particular as a project that could deliver kind of a positive message. They were the ones who proposed the idea of charity as well. So I think this was a few months ahead of even the reveal of the sponsorship. And there's a lot of coordination. I'm not involved in the coordination, but it's definitely a lot of coordination behind the scenes to try to really show that, yes, marble racing exists and it presents a totally different message than some of the stuff you might see elsewhere. It's a unique, uplifting message.
Right. Awesome. So you are the analyst and the project coordinator for the JMRC. So what does that entail on your end? What's your role? What's your day-to-day like?
You're not the first person to ask that question. I think my role is deliberately unclear because I think I do a mix of many things. I think the general idea is that my role on the committee is to ensure that events are creative, events are fair, doing some checking of test runs to see that everything works out the way it does. And, in general, and I also, after each event, I look at feedback, look at people's fan reactions and so forth about the more successful moment or the most exciting moments. And so,
right.
I guess my role in the committee is I'm always thinking a few steps in advance, right? I'm thinking about, will this event work out well? Like when we actually, when it actually takes place. And the footage.
Does it translate well from paper to reality?
Yeah. And then it's going into the event, is it fair? Or, going out of the event, are we going to have the event again? So that's just, I think it's a very open-ended role I play on the committee, but I enjoy it. And I think it's great that it's fundamentally very much about keeping in touch with the community and making sure that JMR is always listening to the fans, listening to the supporters.
Right. Well, and that makes sense. You're very active on the Discord server for JMR.
Yeah, I mean, so and so. These days I'm pulling back a bit. I'm not a professional marble racing, chairman or something.
So were you happy with how the whole series turned out? Anything you would have liked to have seen differently in the end with hindsight?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I thought that there was a lot of work put into it. This was a 2-month event, 16 events. It took a lot of planning, a lot of back and forths between the JMR, the organizers at the Andromedome, all of us. And I am pretty happy with it. I'm happy in the end that it was all released on a very tight schedule, that the events were creative, and it was not like, we had any last minute snafus with any of the course construction, so to speak.
Right.
Right. So in overall, I'm generally very, very positive about it. The only thing that I wish I would come out differently was, there were certainly some events like black hole funnel, like half pipe. Some people complain about collision as well. I think in general there was a tone of like there were definitely some events where it was harder to understand the action on the screen.
Right.
And it's just shout out to you guys on Marble Rundown who are breaking down these more complex events bit by bit. I always wish that the videos themselves, the live commentary there, we could coordinate it better and make it easier to understand the action on the screen. So that's certainly something to think about in the future.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we love doing the breakdowns because we notice the little things going on there, and it feels great to kind of say, hey, everyone, this provides a really cool way to look at it, and you rewatch the event again and you pick up on all these little things that you didn't before.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I love how easily presentable I love how easily presentable you make the breakdown.
Well, thank you. It's a joy to do.
Right, that came out all wrong. It's very visually appealing what all of you do, and I'm really for me, it's always about elevating the conversation to make it, people take it seriously. People take seriously about the tactics of the athletes involved, and I love that. I think that's the respect that our world of marble sports deserves.
Right. So. Season is done. So are there any ideas, both coming from the fans and maybe some internally, that have been floated for next year's Marble League that you can let us in on?
Yeah, I gotta say no comment on this one. The only thing I will say is that the fans definitely have some creative ideas out there. So in the broader JMR community, there's a subreddit. I always like checking the subreddit where some of the more interesting ideas are put out. Again, no comment on whether or not those events are being considered, but I'm just saying that if you just want to see the creativity and you want to feel inspired by it, check out what the fans have been proposing in terms of events where, maybe I saw there was a tug of war event that got some good feedback on the subreddit at least. So seeing that kind of stuff give you an idea of the level of creativity, the bar at which is being set for the introduction of new events. And certainly I think whatever events they're thought of are going to be as creative as what the fans are proposing.
All right. So what you're saying is you can't confirm, wink, wink, that there's definitely going to be a sand mogul race in a litter box next year?
No comment. I can't comment on anything. I mean, I'm sorry.
No worries.
That's just the way it rolls.
All right. So turning away from the Marble League, we obviously a lot of people are looking at what's up next. We got the little preview in the banner on the Ellie's Marble Runs channel saying we got the Marble Rally coming up this month, which we're all very excited about. We've got another Marbula E event coming up. We've got Marbula 1 Season 2, but then there was also this interesting little 24 minutes of Le Marble Race, which is a mysterious little project. We know that Yelly's been wanting to do something like a long-form race for a while. You have any comments or things you can say about what's been going into that?
Not much because it's in the planning stages as well. But the context for that is exactly right. Ever since the first Marbula 1 race got released, you had people in the comments, the fans in the comments saying, "Oh, we want an endurance race. We want 24 hours of Le Mans type race." And then some people started going 24 minutes of Le Marble. So people kept. It's an idea that just is so natural that people kept suggesting it over and over again. And I think when someone like Yella, someone like JMR decides to say, "Oh, we're going to do this," it's about giving back to the fans. It's about engaging with the fans.
Right.
So while there's no concrete details on how it will be set up, it certainly is. It will be a race where it will be designed to really please fans of all stripes. I think that it is the point of having these off-season friendly races to give some content that everybody can enjoy.
Of course. That's awesome. All right. And last thing, what is your team? Do you have a team you support? Are you allowed to have your own team?
I mean, look. I think part of it is that when you are doing the job that I do, which is to ensure fairness, to ensure that the events are designed in an exciting way. It kind of makes you less like a hardcore fan of any team,
right?
Because you have to be impartial, right? But at the end of the day, like I joined the community, and I was a Raspberry Racers fan, so that's always going to be within me. I don't like that they're not performing so well in this 2020 season, but that's the way it is. And Limers, one day the Racers and the Limers will meet again, and most likely we'll beat them. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
We will.
Okay.
Fouc, thanks again so much for being on the show. It was great to have you.
Yeah, definitely. Enjoyed talking on here. Keep up the great work, guys.